I probably would have been in your squad right now, being
boom. Hey, I don't dance. You're better at me than dancing. I'll tell you that much.
Did you ever lose yourself a little bit and like have anybody kind of like draw you back a little bit? Really?
Yes.
I'm getting hot right now, thinking I'm gonna get wiped away from an AI. Bro.
Yeah. What do you mean now? They're actors.
Look at her. You can't even talk, and I would have just said what you were trying to say immediately. Did you date his sister?
Like it's a tricky situation.
What a dog.
No.
It's a little hot, so can we turn on the AC a little bit? It's getting hot in here. Probably. Wait, how old are you?
21.
Okay, I can make this joke. Probably because we have a really young and sexy man here.
Yeah.
You look really young, so I want to make sure I didn't go too full Hollywood on
I'm
you.
16.
Welcome back, guys. This is the George Janko Show. I'm here with my beautiful girlfriend, Shauna Della Rica.
Hi, guys.
Ben Azelart, who I had to look up how to say his last name because that is the hardest last name to read for a dyslexic man.
Where's your last name from?
Do you know there's a website dedicated to pronouncing your last name?
Really?
Yeah, Azelart.
Just .com?
Azelart.
Azelart.
And I have to say it the way the robot does. Azelart.
Oh, it's like a Google thing? Or is
Yep.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a website. And you know what? There were so many of your fans being like, thank God, I didn't know how to pronounce this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I used to just get called Benzalart. They would just combine my first and last name and, oh, you're Benzalart.
Benzalart.
Oh, I don't know where they got that. But
Did you hang out with stupid people?
School kids would call me Benzalart.
Benzalart. People,
It's like your nickname.
they would call me. I can't even say what they used to call me. Isn't that crazy? I can't recite what they used to call me. Anyways,
Demonetized.
welcome.
Wait, which camera am I looking at?
Any camera your heart desires, bro.
I'm like, there's so many, bro. I'm like hella thrown off.
I'm excited about this, bro, because I want to say, because I literally just got done. That's my Patreon camera right there.
Oh, lit.
And I talk about my guests before they come on, and I kind of want to like guess your life, it's reality, and then you tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Got it.
Okay.
What?
It's not too supportive.
All right, go ahead.
I'm all for it. I want to hear it. I got
sorry,
you,
it was
George.
just funny. No, go ahead.
Yeah, now I have the confidence to go ahead.
Yes, sir.
I'm so sorry about her.
I love this duo, by the way.
I don't. Okay, now, so what?
So what were you
You
gonna
got
do, man?
this.
This is what I see when I see from far. But I listen. If I'm wrong, be like, no, absolutely not. I see a kid. A lot of people when they see your success. Oh my God! I never even. For the guests that don't know, not guests. You're the guest. Sorry, I'm new to this. You're welcome to my podcast. For people that don't know who Ben is a wildly successful, very creative, you like to do your own stunts. I call you like the taller Tom Cruise of YouTube.
Thank you.
And I've watched your stuff. You're very child friendly. Like anybody can family could watch this type of stuff. And I realized that your real life and your persona is, I would assume, is separate. You're putting on somewhat of a character.
I think
Like you're playing yourself, but like in a way like where you're hiding some of your reality.
probably, yeah.
And so when I was looking at you, I was seeing that you started out very young, very successful. You had your like crew with Brent Rivera, which I have a funny story to tell you about him.
Got it.
And I met him at In-N-Out once before I even did social media.
I have a funny story about you later, too.
No way. Let's go. I cannot wait.
Which story's gonna be better?
Oh, now my ass cheeks are clenched. From an outside perspective, I see you as a very successful man that's hardworking, did his own, paved his way. But I feel like your parents may have already had their own success. You follow in your footsteps by taking advice and learning from them. Instead of being so prideful, you wanted to learn from them, and that kind of thrusted you in a different direction because you had two adults that are very successful guide you. Am I wrong or right?
See, I would say that my parents aren't more so like on the side of very successful as you could say like they're, billionaires. You would say, I don't know what you're trying to kind of go for.
They were established in their own careers.
My mom's a dental hygienist. My dad's a pilot. So I would say they're both the careers that you definitely need to put time into if it's going to school or need a degree for. So I think I learned a lot from both of my parents on the side of life advice. I wouldn't say anything on the side of like what I do. I think they have no idea what I even really do.
Damn. Okay, so I'm so glad I was wrong. By the way, in that picture right there, you look like Nick Jonas.
That's a photo that I don't even know when that was taken. I used to do my hair all weird, and I would slick it over to the side, and it was an era that...
No, you look
That's
great.
not weird. That was
You
the
look
look
great,
for a
man.
while.
It was. I have curly hair, and I used to hate curly hair.
You
so
look-
I tried to make
Really?
it straight.
Everybody who had curly hair hated it,
Yeah.
and then now it's the thing.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, "Fuck."
Yeah, when I met him, I was like, dude, let your curls be curls. Like, I love your curls.
I'm very proud of you, bro. I really thought that you came from because I grew up like I've been in the industry for 10 years, and there's some people that I see where they came from industry parents, and you moved around like you had some. Who's giving you these insights and advice to like really? Because you're doing it at a huge level. And when I first met you, the one that I remember is when you were doing this boxing thing, and I pulled you aside. I go, bro, like you reminded me of like Logan, the way you had your own audience, you knew what they wanted, you were very excited, you weren't scared. You like when I saw you, I was like, this kid's a star, bro. Like you really have everything, and the height. Which, by the way, the internet says you're 5'11". That's cap, right?
6'1".
Okay, thank God.
What Air Force One?
there's no
6'2".
way.
God, bro, because you walked up the stairs, I was like, what the fuck?
That's the first thing I instantly thought of.
5'11". A lot of things on the internet you'd say are false.
Yeah, Jessica was like, he's not 5'11".
Do people come up to you and be like, wow, you're a lot taller?
Yeah, actually they do.
Do you know what they say to me? Wow, you're shorter. And I was like, keep that shit to yourself, bro. Do you have any idea what kind of confidence I have when 8th graders run up to me, look down at me, and ask me for a picture, and then talk about my height?
Oh,
Bro,
God.
kids are the most honest. Some of the like kids that you meet, they'll be like,
Ruthless.
yo, bro, you're short, bro.
Well, by the way, not even looking at me. They'll be in the middle of taking a picture, looking at their mom and dad. They'll be like, yeah, man, I can't believe how short you are. And I'm
Like you're a wax figure, you know? Like you're just there, and they're like, look at this wax figure, dude. He's short. Like you can't hear them, you know?
you smell good.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, it's not about me. Oh my God, I thought I didn't hit record because we
Man.
hit record earlier.
It's happened before.
Bro, I did that on my first episode. I was very nervous. And dude, the guy gave me like the best intro for the best first podcast
It was
ever.
Joe Coy, not to
Oh
spoil
my
it.
God. And I literally was like this. I was like in my head, I go, oh my God, I can't believe this is documented. As soon as I said that in my head, I was like, oh my God. And then I turned around and it's just not recording. And I'm like, I'm going to kill myself.
We're gonna
Like when do you
redo
tell
this.
them?
I literally go, I'm so sorry.
Amen.
Can I start over? And this is where he goes, yeah, okay. And I was like, sick.
Hey, it's first time. It's first time. It's okay.
Yeah,
I want to get into the story that you know, but should I share mine or wait, do I look good or bad in the story?
Oh, you look normal.
Okay. I'll tell my story first because I look stupid as shit. So I'm very much a person who's trial and error type of thing, you know?
Yep.
Don't know what a no-no is until you do it. And then you get the vibe of like, that's a no-no. I had that with Brent Rivera. So when kids or anybody that doesn't know about social media realms, when they come and ask me something that might be inappropriate, like, you know, like how much do you make? Or could you shout me out or do anything that I remember I used to be stupid. So like, I don't judge them, but the only reason I remember this is because like there's days where I literally just get so uncomfortable thinking about this.
Oh, no.
I was at In-N-Out and I'm watching like all these girls go nuts over Brent Rivera. Like I'm talking nuts. And I'm like, who the fuck is this skinny little dude that everybody in this place is going nuts over? And then I look at him and I'm like, wait a second. I think he's on this app like where people make 6-second videos or some shit.
Oh, Vine days.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. This is when I first moved to LA. This is like 10 years ago.
Wow.
So 2014?
Yeah. He was the first social media kid I've ever met in real life.
Wow. This is in LA?
This is in LA.
Oh, wow.
And so on Hollywood and Orange, the In-N-Out there. So if you guys ever want to meet Brent Rivera,
Iconic.
stand out there. So there's another kid from my school at the time. His name was Kenny Holland. And he was really, really big on social media. And I was like, man, if he could do it, I can do it. And so I was like, all I need is a social media guy to shout me out. And then like, there it begins. And so like, I walked up to him and I was like, excuse me, you're Brent, right? And he goes, yeah. I go, dude, this is crazy. Do you know who Kenny Holland is? Anyways, he goes to my school. Could you shout me out? And the guy, I'm not even kidding. He just looks at me and goes, no. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, you don't ask that? All right. I didn't even wait for my food. I got so embarrassed. I left.
No.
Because I was like, dude, no, who asked this guy for a shout out? Maybe I'm going to be different.
What if you just said yeah and just
I probably would have
Yeah.
been in your squad right now being
boom.
like,
Hey, I don't dance. I can't do. You're better than me than dancing. I'll tell you that much. I can't do that.
so oh wait, before we move on to who's your squad, what's your story?
So you know the restaurant 800 Degrees Pizza
Of course.
by 1600 Vine.
Yes.
So back when I first moved to LA, which was probably 5 or 6 years ago, you probably were still living there. Did you live there?
Yes.
Yeah, you live there.
Yeah.
I would like lurk around there.
Were you on social media yet or no?
I maybe had like 20K on Instagram.
Okay, cool.
No other.
You weren't the kids that waited outside.
Not to take a photo,
Okay.
but just to like try to be in the mix.
So you were those kids.
I had a way.
Were you with your mom and dad, or were you by
No,
yourself?
I was by myself. I had one friend that somehow had a key there, lived there, maybe.
Oh, so you really snuck in, huh?
I would. I'd get to the pool. I'd be like looking around for a security guard. Like I don't live here. I'm just like hanging out by like the balcony. I'm like, I'm here. But if someone sees me, I'm getting kicked out right away. And then I would do that many times. That was just one of the many. One of the times I was lurking on Hollywood Boulevard right there. And I was at 800 Degrees Pizza. And you were there. I think you were shooting a video. And I was like 5 tables of the way, like just like side-eyeing so hard.
Was
like,
it inside or outside?
outside?
Okay, so was it like?
Outside seating.
So if this is the street, the patio on this side, right?
Yeah.
I know exactly which video you're talking about.
Yeah, you were shooting a video, and I was like, I'm not the kind of guy to go up and interrupt things. I was just like, just like I knew who you were, and I was like looking and watching and observing, and then you left. Maybe I snuck a photo. Maybe I don't know. Like
We didn't even talk.
No.
Oh, dude!
I just
It'd be something cool, like where we like this.
No.
Because dude,
I was a stalker. I don't talk.
I had
Just
a
stalking you.
I had a guy who was working for me. His name's Justin. Me and him are friends. And one day, because I forget who I meet like on the street and hang out with.
Yeah.
And he goes, we met before, like before we started working. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he shows me a picture of us hanging out. And I'm like, dude, why didn't you tell me this? Like,
Wait, Justin?
yeah, Justin. And I met him. And I remember the day too. He was leaving a party because a girl had, what's it when you see a flash and you seizure?
Epilepsy?
Epilepsy. So they were evacuating. And I asked, hey, what's going on in there? And it was Justin. And he's like, hey, and he told me, and he took a picture. Sorry, I took a little side turn. Huh. I thought there was going to be something like, and then I came up to you. And
Should have made something up.
Yeah, and then you punched me in the face. I was so nervous. I was like, oh, man, what happened?
No. Just a stalker moment. That's it. A little.
Well, I'm glad that.
I didn't follow you. I saw you.
Wait, okay. Well, also, that must be really cool from your point of view because you watched me from far doing my thing. And then years later, I came up to you and I was like, bro, keep doing it. You're killing it.
And that was a big moment for me because many times I would say myself, I mean, when I started, I was 14, 15. So that's kind of the prime age to be like a fan. So I have tons of YouTubers that I was fans of that I am now slowly meeting or even doing videos with. And to me, it's like a full circle moment.
Yeah.
Definitely nowadays, I'm not going to go and freak out like I might have used to, but it's cool to come up to them and show them old photos that I might have taken with them, funny stories like this. So I started as a fan almost. I've consumed almost every YouTuber.
I love that.
Fully.
And by the way, like I don't think there's a certain age where you should stop being a fan. I think,
No.
Yeah.
I still
I get
consume,
so
like-
excited when I see people I know.
Yeah.
Like if I met any of the cast members from Friends, I'm shitting like immediately in my pants. Dude, that would be crazy to me. You know what I think about all the time? And ever since Jessica told me this, she goes, you think about like Matthew Perry that plays, Chandler, right?
Yeah.
Matthew Perry plays Chandler.
Yeah.
And when I would go up to him, I'd be so excited to meet Chandler. But that's not Chandler. That's a man who plays Chandler. So when your fans run up to you, they're like, Ben, they know you, bro. So they get to meet the person that they're actually looking up to. That's a whole
cool.
different level of like, damn, that's cool, bro.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. Like I don't know how your success started, but mine was like, you're that dude from Logan's videos. And then you're like, wait, you're that George kid. And then it goes George Janko. And they're like, I know exactly where you
cool
shit and
feeling,
live.
yeah.
And I'm like, how did it get here?
I think I have a very similar kind of social media upbringing from you, I think. I was just thinking about in the car. I think we have a similar kind of like journey from what you just mentioned. I was someone's friend too. I'm Brent's friend for years and years and loved that. That was never a problem to me. But then at one point you start hearing your name, Ben. Oh my God, you're Ben. And you're like, oh shit, they know my name.
That becomes just about you and what you're making.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh my God, you're Ben Azelart. They're saying the full name and they're saying it right. And it's like, damn.
Yeah.
I don't understand when people go, like some people come out to me like, hey, does it ever bother you? You came from Logan. I'm like, why would it ever bother? Having a mentor, having somebody to guide you is the greatest gift ever. Like it is the greatest. Having a friend like Ben, not only you could share like personal moments with, but you're growing in life, bro. That's a bond that you can never expect or like anticipate, but just life hands you. So you either appreciate it or you get like really uncomfortable or jealous or if once you let your pride or ego take the vehicle of your life, you could look at anything in a bad way.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's easy to look at it in a bad way, like you said. But
course.
at the end of the day, it's like you have to, that's someone that mentored you and, you know, gave you your upbringing, and, you know, you do your own thing with it in the future. And then that's the cool part, you know?
And well, so actually, because we were talking about it earlier, it was the first thing you mentioned, how, you know, your life, you're not showing everything about your life. So like, you're kind of like, at a certain point, you're like this persona of yourself, right, online.
Yeah.
Because like, you're showing, you want to keep things positive, right? So like, you feel like, do you ever go past that and kind of share like your day to day, what's going on in your life, or do you always kind of keep it just happy, positive?
I've always not really gone too deep into my life, and it could be a good thing and a bad thing. I think I lose out on some people's personal connection with me when I'm not sharing everything and the real things that are happening in my life, and just kind of keeping it just solely entertainment content, fun stuff. I think that keeps a lot of my stuff very positive, like no drama. But I do think people might lose sort of a touch of emotional connection with myself, not really knowing the things that go on in my life, the struggles I might go through, the problems I might have, because I don't really share those. One, it's a comfort thing, and two, it's just I like to just keep it positive on my channel.
Yeah.
So I think there's pros and cons to it, but from what I've overall been doing the last 5 years, I felt it's been more positive to kind of just keep it to myself and keep things more just entertainment purposes.
Smart.
Just that's the kind of person I am. Like I can't really dive into like my life problems on social media and have it be a positive thing. It might just become more of a problem.
Bro,
I don't know.
Yeah.
The whole internet right now is asking me the same question. Is like, what's going on with you and Impaulsive? And it's so hard being in it. This is my first time I ever even mentioned it. This is very hard to like bring up drama, because like I'm not a drama channel, bro.
Yeah.
And I also don't like, me and them have like a little tension between us right now, but I'm not going to go out and dog them online or like talk ill about them. I have a disagreement with them. So I get what you're saying. It's very uncomfortable when people want to know so much that you're like, that's just not how I work, bro. I don't even tell like friends that are passing what's going on in my life. Like I deal with it like a man, the way my dad told me, deal with it, handle it between you and the people. And if that's not working out, then sell it to TMZ and make some money. I'm just kidding.
The unfortunate part with that is then people will start to make their own assumptions based on
They're
just
always going to. They're always
the few
going
things
to.
that are on the internet, which then you're like, man, I should have just told him the truth. What the frick?
No. You're chasing tabloids. I've already came to the conclusion where the audience is going to dictate if they like you or not, regardless.
Yep.
If they know the truth or they make up their own truth. So for you to go and be, because I was like that. When this whole thing hit the fan, I was like, oh, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? And I'm scared that they're going to think of me in this way, or I'm going to come out. And this is what I believe. I believe the truth always will come out. So keep doing you, put your head down, work, and then time will tell, and the audience will know by your actions.
100%. You can tell someone, even through a camera, you can tell their, the way they go about things and their heart. So I think, like you said, it might not be tomorrow that people will like think differently of you, but at one point it will come full circle, and like you said, it'll always, the truth will always kind of just come back.
I want to peel back a few years and ask you, where did you get your start? How did you circle to your group of friends? And then, are you where you wanted to be yet? Or is there something still on your heart that you like want to tackle? I always ask in threes. I got to stop doing that. And then
I was like, wait.
The guest always goes, fuck, and they start writing. Let's start with one. How did you peel back? How did you get into this game?
Man, okay, so it's a crazy story, and you might know a few people that are involved in this.
Amazing.
Maybe. I think you do. So it all started, I grew up in Hawaii. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not born and raised, but I moved there when I was 3 years old. Lived there until I was 15. Then I moved to LA to do this stuff.
Well, I got to ask you a quick question.
Yes.
What's it like living on an island versus
It's amazing.
here? So you like it better there?
The growing up part was amazing. I couldn't pick a better place to grow up. I didn't pick it, but I couldn't have. Nowadays, I couldn't have chose a better place to grow up. I think that it might even be a place that I want to grow my kids in. I want to take them there for that. I think it's just it keeps you very grounded.
A lot of culture there.
A lot of culture. There's not a really there's none of this distraction of like fame and money, we might call it over there. It's very, very family oriented, very simple. you go to the beach, you have fun, you go to school, you love the people around you and all that stuff.
I love
and,
that.
That I think made me the person I am today. Being in Hawaii was a huge part of it.
Wait, did you watch Lilo and Stitch while you were in Hawaii?
Oh, man, I think I've watched a few episodes.
Get out.
What?
I haven't even watched
Episode?
Moana.
Get
you
out.
mean the movie? Oh
Get
my
the
God.
fuck out of my house, bro.
You're like, I was living the life, not watching.
You
it.
were. You know I could do an impersonation of Lilo and Stitch. That's how much I've watched it.
Dude, I might not even know who you're talking about when you
Are you
say it.
fucking kidding,
I don't really know.
bro? Stitch.
I know Lilo and Stitch, but I don't think I really ever dove deep into that. I watched some pretty goofy shows.
All right,
Well,
I'm
you
gonna
would
give
really
you an
enjoy it.
impression. You
Yeah.
tell me who this is.
He's not even gonna know.
No, I mean, I might.
Well,
Oh,
dude, we're gonna clip
I
it.
might have watched a few episodes.
We're gonna talk afterwards because you've been coming at me on this podcast.
You guys, the movie came out the year he was born.
Yeah, 2002, my man.
No way. You're a baby, bro. Fuck, I'm an old man. But you know what they say about family?
What you guys
Family means family, and family means nobody gets left behind. Yes, good, Stitch. Aha, Stitch. But he doesn't know because he's a bitch. He doesn't watch the shit.
No, that was great.
Thank you. Thank you.
I might not even know what character that is, but that didn't sound like a real person. That did not sound like a real person.
You may have not watched Stitch, but I may have not had friends, and I just sat home pretending Stitch was next to me.
Oh my God.
We'll move on.
Good. That was good, babe. That
Thank
was
you.
good. That
Thank
was-
you
yeah.
so much. I appreciate it.
It was really close.
See, you wanted me to not do that.
Right, and we would have missed out.
Awkward pause. Oh my god, that almost fell on me.
No, it's okay.
I'll hold
Sorry.
it.
Wait, is it
Is
falling?
it falling?
Here, grab
No,
a
it's
pillow.
not. No, it's good now.
We could just grab one of those
I'm
pillows.
just I'm messing with it too
If
much.
you just like
No,
don't
mess with it.
blow
Have
on
fun.
it, don't move it. What am I supposed to-
I had a podcast and I would used to mess with the mic all the time.
Yeah, Wild and Out or something? Stay Wild. Stay Wild podcast.
It was short lived, but it's
Why
okay.
did you stop?
It might come back. I just at the moment when I was making that podcast, I was a little bit too like particular with what was on the podcast. I treated it like a YouTube video, which is just not the way to do it. It was like 3 years ago. Now I think I could do it better this time, and I might actually. But I had to just kind of cut it quick because it started feeling not podcasty and too YouTube video-y, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. It was just it felt too like planned out. We had all
Well, I
these
was going
little
to say your
segments.
content and on a podcast would be two different audiences because a podcast would be more of like your actual day to days and like moving through life and its journeys. That's
Yeah.
how I'm feeling.
I
Like,
wasn't there
But
yet.
yours is like creating content for your audience, so your audience might have been a little confused.
Yeah, I wasn't quite there yet, like mentally, age-wise, and just content-wise to make a podcast and just start talking about whatever.
Yeah.
I think more now I am, but we'll see. But anyways, I think we're talking about
Hawaii.
how I started.
Yes.
Yeah. I grew up in Hawaii. Lived there for like 13 years. When I was 14, one random day of the year, I was going surfing at this really random surf break that has terrible waves. It's just where I live. It's just convenient. I just go to mess around there, but it's not a notable surf break. For some reason, as I'm going there, and to backtrack even, I almost didn't go this day. You'll understand why this surf sesh was so important to everything.
Yeah.
But my friend hit me up. I said I was down. Then they said I'm not going. So I was like, okay, I'll stay home. And then they came pick me up 5 minutes later saying, okay, we're going. So then I went. So it was I almost didn't go. But then I
Yeah.
went surfing this one day. And surfing that one day, I happened to run into two YouTubers at this surf break. And it was mind-boggling because I wasn't even really a fan of this YouTuber. I had watched one video of theirs the night before.
Oh
Whoa.
wow.
Yeah.
Doesn't it always happen that way?
Yeah.
You know, like you just talked about something and then
Yeah, do you know Alex Hayes?
That sounds
Australian,
so familiar.
kind of like lifestyle type,
Alex Hayes.
Jay Alvarez style.
I was about to say, Jay Alvarez, were they friends?
They were friends.
Okay, I think I
So
know
it was
him
in
from
that
being friends with him.
realm. That realm, yeah. They'll probably show up a photo. He's got
Is that how you spell his name?
Alex Hayes. Yeah, like blonde hair kid. He lives in Australia, which is even more
Wait,
random.
wait. I definitely know this kid.
Yeah.
Why do I know this kid? Is he a singer?
No, he's not a
Oh,
singer.
Yeah. I've seen him online.
Is he a surfer?
Yeah.
What does he
Yeah,
do?
surfer, lifestyle guy. Jay Alvarez-esque.
Yeah.
Content, lifestyle, skydiving, crazy shit.
Cool. What
So
a cool look.
I saw one video of his the night before, and he's got a very notable look, long blonde hair. You couldn't really miss him.
Yeah.
So then I'm like surfing, paddling out, and I see this guy with long blonde hair. I'm like, that's the guy from the video I watched last night. The hell? I know he's got like probably 400,000 subs, so I'm like, damn, I never met someone with 400,000 subscribers. I'm freaking tripping. So I go up to him, which I don't normally do. I'm like, yo, I watched one of your videos last night. It was epic. And he was super cool. I was 14. He was probably like 18. So he was really cool back to me, even though I'm just kind of like another kid at the surf break. He's like, dude, thanks, man, so much, whatever. Like, we talked a little bit, just small talked in the surf break. And then I went home. He went home. Then I DM'd him. And he had like 400,000 followers on Instagram, which at the moment for me was just mind blowing. I had like 1,000 followers just from school and skateboarding stuff. And then he replied, and I remember just like screaming, throwing my phone, like 14 years old, tripping out, followed me back, replied, and I pretty much hit him.
Wow, that's so dope. This kid like really changed your perspective on life.
Seriously, dude. And
that's
then
awesome.
I hit him up and I was like, hey man, I know you're on island for a few days. If you want me to show you all the spots, because there's a lot of spots that you can't really get to unless you don't know where they're at.
Right.
You can't just Google them. So I was like, I know a lot of cool spots on the island I've lived through my whole life. Do you want me to show you around and show you some cool spots? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. You free tomorrow? And I was like, oh my God,
Let's
yeah.
go.
So I hung out with him for like 3 days. And then as well as he was dating My Life as Ava at the time, Ava Gutowski. She's another YouTuber.
Wait, aren't you friends with her?
I'm friends with her now, which is hella random. Hella random.
Whoa, this is a great story.
They were dating at the time. I was more of a fan of his than I was hers because he was the guy that I watched. But anyways, 2 YouTubers together. I joined up with them for 3 to 4 days as a complete random kid. And then I'm like, wow, this is really dope. Like, they're filming their life, making a living, traveling around. I was mind blown. So then right after he left, I had this epiphany to start a YouTube channel. I got a camera. My brother was a videographer at the time, just did lifestyle stuff. So he helped me.
Perfect.
He helped me learn how to edit, learn how to film. He was a huge part in like my knowledge on camera stuff. And
Older or younger?
Older brother.
Cool.
The
He
nerdy
must
stuff.
be so proud of you.
He's awesome. And he's actually a YouTuber now too. So
Let's go.
yeah, kind of full circle. But anyways, I became content creator, in that sense, really like no traction, obviously. It's not overnight,
Yeah.
So my tactic,
I mean,
I had a little
there.
I had a little sneaky tactic to gain followers at first, which I would never tell anyone at first because I was so embarrassed by it. But now it means really nothing. It's not that big of a deal. But I would follow and unfollow his followers so that they would go to my account and say, followed by Alex Hayes, like I was his friend. So like I'd go through his followers.
You'd follow them and then
Follow.
unfollow them.
Like a day or two later, I'd unfollow them. But in hopes
Wait,
that they
realistically, how many did you grow?
like 6,000 or 7,000 followers.
Really?
It was, but I went crazy. I would do it for hours a day, and it took months.
Bro, I mean, that's amazing.
But it was my little sneaky tactic to gain real people and not buy followers that actually were real people that enjoyed that kind of content, which I made similar content. So it only made sense for them to be like,
Right.
dude that lives at the beach with blonde hair. Oh, I'll follow him too. He's friends with the guy that I just followed.
Yeah.
So I like stole a lot of his, 6,000 of his followers, and steal them, but
Yeah.
I brought him over to my
borrowed
page. I borrowed him, and I'm pretty sure I told him that now. But then anyways, that got me to like, 6,000 or 7,000 followers, which gave me, I guess, enough traction to become on the Explore page on Instagram when that was a thing. So now I'm on the Explore page on Instagram because I'm getting 4,000 likes, maybe 2,000 likes, enough to get on the Explore page,
And the Explore page, for anybody who doesn't do social media, once you get onto like an Explore page, it's anybody could. It's a billboard. So like, if you're creating good content, there's a great chance that if you're actually doing it right, you could start a name for yourself. For example, a lot of Viners would try to get to the popular page of Vine, and that's what made people like pop. Or if you go to Facebook, they had a Facebook page called the Top Facebook. So it's like you get into this realm, you get more audiences. So genius.
Yeah.
So how did you connect? So you grow your own audience. Did you move to LA yet or no?
No, I'm still in Hawaii, lifestyle only content, beach, surfing, hikes, all that kind of stuff. Nothing to do with like mainstream YouTube at all. It's just solely like Hawaii vlogs.
Got it.
And I'm not even really in front of the camera sometimes because I'm too shy. So I'm filming my friends, like peeking around the corner, like, all right, we're at the beach now, and then putting the camera back because I like couldn't talk in front of the camera to save my life. I hated it.
Really?
Yeah, it was like terrible. Not in front of my mom. Like she couldn't be in the car when I was like trying to vlog.
Yeah.
I'd have
This
to
is
have her
interesting.
leave the car.
This is interesting. I've never met somebody at your level that didn't want to be in front of the camera at first.
No, not at all. I hated it. I
Every
really
single
tried.
person that's in your position right now is like, I could do it.
I forced myself to want to be in front of the camera, and it was rough.
Before I did YouTube, I was doing skits, and all the YouTubers would be like, bro, you got to do YouTube. Your like personality is like really good for YouTube. And I recorded my first video, and I watched it back, but I didn't know about editing. YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I would literally just watch it back, and I compared my raw, long form video to like people that have like edited videos, and I literally cried. I was like, I'm so terrible. Like, I'm no good. And by the way, I wasn't like 16, bro. I was like 23, so I was way worse. And so like I deleted it, and I'm like, I'm never doing YouTube. And then like, somehow I got here. But I got here from writing it within a crew. So I was a very creative human. How did you tap into the crew you were with when you got to LA?
Yeah, so I was still in Hawaii at the time, and then I had gotten a DM from Brent, which was another like what the
He
hell
manages
moment.
people, bro, huh?
It was the same kind of like what the heck moment than the first time with the surfer guy and the island. It was another one of those random. He randomly saw me on his explore page, and he was looking to start like a social media group in LA, kind of like find some good talent to be in videos, people that had consistent work ethic. I was posting weekly vlogs with really no return, no views, but I was doing it because I loved it. So I think he was looking for talent to kind of be in this like filming group, social media group, and he reached out to me, and then I'm like, what the hell? This guy has like 4 million followers. I'm like, oh my
He's
god,
crushing it now.
like yeah, it's nuts. So then obviously replied, and we messaged back and forth, and ultimately he was like, hey, I live in Huntington Beach, would you be willing to like come out here one of these days and like be in a video or something? And I'm like, I live in Hawaii, like shit. But my dad's a pilot, which is another like, it almost everything happened for a reason, which is the reason why I'm so grateful for where I'm at, because almost everything had to happen in the right way.
It was meant
did.
to be for
meant
you.
to be. So
Yeah.
I take everything, like I don't take anything for granted in this situation because of how like lucky I am to be here. My dad was a pilot, so I was very fortunate enough to fly back and forth to California and Hawaii for free, which is normally like $500 bucks.
I love your heart, bro. Your heart is very genuine. Like like a lot of people would just take and be like, I don't care, it's mine, it's whatever, I earned it. And you every step of the way, you're like, oh, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. And let me tell you something, bro. If you keep that same mindset and keep that same heart, you're gonna be happy and you're gonna have such a beautiful home. Just promise me you'll keep that mindset,
100%, bro.
That'd be great. Your parents
Thank
did
you.
an amazing job on you.
Thank you.
That's awesome. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No worries, man. Yeah, so then my dad was a pilot. I got free flights between Hawaii and LA, which was insane. I would come out every other weekend. I was
Damn!
in ninth
That's
grade.
great, yeah.
Dude, for
Oh,
a
in
kid,
ninth
you were
grade?
going.
Wow.
This is the sweet life of Zach and Cody type shit, bro. This is awesome.
My mom didn't work on weekends, so she'd come with me, obviously.
Oh my God.
And they invested a lot of time and money into like really, really like giving me this opportunity. And it would not, it would not have been possible without their investment into like, me wanting to do this.
100%.
My mom came out here. My uncle lived out here, so we would stay with him and we would rent a car and we would drive down for a few days and whatever, back and forth. And then at one point, it came time where I was trying to convince them to let me move out here because it kind of became like something where it could be really cool.
Yeah.
Nothing was for sure.
How
though.
old were you when that happened?
I was 16. So I'm in the summer between 9th grade and 10th grade, and I'm trying to make this decision of like go to 10th grade in high school.
In Huntington.
No, I'll be online school.
Oh.
But it was like go to 10th grade in Hawaii or move out to Huntington and be online schooled because it would be a little too tricky. So my mom and my brother was going to college at the time. We're about to go to college. She moved out to California with me to help get in-state tuition for his college so it'd be cheaper. But she really tells me nowadays that it was more just to get me out here. That was like her way to convince my dad to let me move out here because he was the harder one to convince in the beginning. My mom was always like, let's do it. My dad was a little bit harder to convince. The whole in-state tuition for college was a great way for my mom to convince my dad to move out here. So we moved to West Hollywood. When
Your
I was
whole family moved?
Just me and my mom.
Okay.
When I was 16. But I would fly, and I kid you not, I would fly to Hawaii every Friday and spend the weekend. I would fly to Hawaii every Friday, spend Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday in Hawaii, and then fly back on Monday every single week. And my mom would work in LA for like 2-3 days as a dental hygienist. We'd fly back to California because my parents are still together. So she can't just leave forever.
Yeah.
They want to still be together. So we're flying back every single week for like a
Wow.
year. I spent like a seventh of my life on the plane. And
But this is what it takes.
Yeah.
and yeah, it ended up paying off because at one point, I obviously was old enough where I could stay out here on my own. My mom could go back to my dad. It obviously put kind of a big strain on their relationship. Obviously not going from being together full time to now half the time they're kind of together. And it's like, a very tough thing for my parents to do. But
Yeah.
I I credit it all back to how much they were willing to give me this opportunity and invest into like me wanting to move out to LA because I'm 16. I can't do that by myself. That's just not physically possible. My parents could have put an end to it and I'd have no choice. But they're super cool to let me do that. So I moved out here, whatever. And then I started the whole, social media stuff with Brent, and he gave me.
Does your mom still live out here?
She's in between Tahoe, Hawaii, and here.
And your pop's still in Hawaii?
My pop's is still in Hawaii.
Got it. He doesn't want to leave Hawaii.
He's actually planning on moving out here. He might have like some sort of like job with Amazon maybe. So
that'd be awesome.
That might base him out here. So he's with Hawaiian Airlines, which is you can't leave. There's only one base, which is in Hawaii. So he'd have to kind of find a new job to be able to move out here. And he's trying to figure it out. But luckily, I'm able to see them a lot with the flight benefit. That's been huge, huge, huge. So yeah, then I came out here to California, and then I was able to kind of get my start with having Brent as my mentor, who gave me a huge, like under his wing, and just kind of brought me into like all his knowledge and his his crew and his friends, and I kind of just like was just like shadowing him for years and years and years, and then started my own thing, and then took the opportunity that he gave me and did my own thing with it, and then here I am now today. So
crushing it.
Wow.
Thanks, man.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, what a great backstory.
Way deeper than I thought it would be, to be honest. I thought you were like a Huntington kid, and then Brett and you were friends growing up, and you're like, let's just do this. Are you guys still working on any projects together?
Yeah, we shoot videos here and there together. We've definitely I'm at the point where I've gotten like established as a creator where I have to kind of do my own thing sometimes,
of course,
and we're still like very much in the same realm of filming, but I would say it's kind of like to the point where at one point I have to kind of I have my own space, my own team, and that requires a lot of time on my end, so I can't have as much time into like seeing everyone all the time and filming with everyone. So
are you ever planning on doing the Brent Rivera of like scouting kids and like seeing if they're
I've thought about it.
That's its own job, bro.
Yeah, it is. It is, and it can pay off a lot in both ways. Like I would say that Brent gave me an opportunity like none other, and I wouldn't be here today with that initial start. And as well as having me, I think he gained a lot from it too. Just having another person in videos that can kind of come up with you, and then he has this kind of group, this reoccurring character group in his videos. So there is a lot of benefits of having these reoccurring characters,
of course,
in your videos and your friend group. It's very established and it's not wishy-washy all the time. I think people can really latch onto that. Kind of like the TV shows you mentioned, like Friends.
It's a cast.
You can really latch onto those characters, and I think that's important to have in a successful YouTube channel that's trying to make that kind of content. So I'd say, I'm open. I'm just trying to feel it out right now and film with the people that I'm filming with, and it's definitely an opportunity that I wouldn't like just put aside.
Yeah.
Did you date his sister?
It's a tricky situation.
There it is.
What a dog.
No,
What
it started off. Thanks
for the career and the sister. No, that's
Peace. No, it started off like I think when you'd film skits too, sometimes people blur the lines of like, is this a skit or is this real life? The viewers.
So you blurred the line in real life, or like what?
Was it you
guys that blurred it?
The
or?
viewers were blurring the lines, and the viewers.
So you guys didn't date?
Not fully, no. Like there's.
Did you ever catch feelings for her?
16, 17, 15.
Sorry, I'm like asking questions.
I'd say.
Well, because dude, from a far out perspective,
sure.
like it was you guys
For
are like
sure.
the new Disney, right? So like your guys
Yeah.
is the cast, and like when you came along, and I feel creepy
for
thinking
sure.
this way, but when I saw this, I was like, oh, they're obviously dating. They look cute together.
For sure, there was feelings. I mean, being 16, making content that's like very relationship-esque on a skit.
Yeah.
I think anyone in that age is bound to be like get butterflies and be like, ooh. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
I wish it wasn't just.
do you like her?
Yeah.
Dude, I went. Oh, how old is she now?
She's my same age. She's 20. She's
Damn, you guys
21.
grew up together.
Yeah, for real.
Are you guys still tight?
100%, yeah. She was. Yeah, we met when we were 15, and we're still tight, and we like did that whole like relationship stuff, filming like content stuff, and it kind of just got a little like we're filming, and then there's like feelings involved, and then it just didn't really make sense at one point. So we're like, yeah, let's just like.
I'm gonna ask you
do
one
our
more
own thing.
question,
work.
not for me,
Yeah.
for the audience. Was there ever a point in your life where you were looking at your relationship with her and your relationship with him, and you were like, fuck, I don't know what to do here. Like, I really care for her, but I also have this business. Bro, you're like the Twilight, like the triangle thing, but it was instead of like too romantic, there's like, fuck, I got to work with him.
I don't
like,
think it was really
Bella?
ever a problem because it wasn't ever something that was so intensely deep where we were like.
Did you ask him for his permission?
No.
Dog.
I mean, dude, I mean,
But
like,
he's-
there's nothing
no.
really involved.
But
It's-
he's
we're
saying
like,
there's nothing happened.
we're like
really.
16, 15. We're just like having butterfly feelings.
Oh,
and
so you
just-
never took her on a date?
Not really, no. For like content, which I'd say at the time felt like it wasn't. It was a real date.
Like your skits
But
end
we're
up feeling
filming
like
it.
real. Like whenever you guys would do things for skits, you felt like it was kind of real.
Ultimately, like I said, the lines were kind of blurred between
Yeah.
like, are we filming something? Are we like this or that or whatever? And I think I was too young to the point where it was like, it just like doesn't. I don't really know what's going on. Let's just do our own thing. So it's like that's why I said it's tricky to talk about because it's like it was blurred between like it started as a skit and then it became like YouTube content and then there was feelings involved and then I don't know.
So when you guys grew up and you were like 20, you guys didn't even circle back to it? You're just like,
No.
just move on.
No, I have a girlfriend currently. So
Oh,
like,
fuck. I'm so sorry.
no,
Oh, I forgot. Yes, I knew. Okay, wait, hold on. Yes, because she showed me a picture. She's like, yo, they have a golden doodle. You guys look all very cute and happy. How did you guys meet? By the way, sorry, girlfriend. I was pressing on the wrong
Sorry, girlfriend.
I'm so sorry.
like the-
she was listening happy the whole time, and then she got probably super upset.
It's like Justin Bieber, like Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
They're like
Poor
all the
Haley.
fans will always be stuck on the old relationship.
The old exes?
you know.
Oh,
But
Selena,
luckily, she doesn't like think too much of it. She doesn't really care, which is
Hey,
cool.
what is she in? Is she a model?
She does modeling now. Yeah. So I met her. I had a party in my warehouse.
Jessica. Oh, picture. Don't be
Can't even see her face
disrespectful,
in
bro.
it. No.
I'm so sorry about her, bro. Oh my god.
Now you got to
You're
sign in to
failing,
click on
dude.
it.
You're failing.
It's okay. We can see it.
We can see her from right here.
Yeah, so I
She's stunning.
have a
Very
warehouse,
beautiful.
and I had a warehouse party at one point, and you know I was single at the time, obviously. So I'm inviting girls to come over, like friends and girls, and you know to have a party. You know,
Yeah.
there needs to be a balanced mix of
Dude, the
males
way you
and
explained
females.
it sounded so guilty, like, right? It's like friends
So we're having a
and
party
girls.
and there's girls, but it was a party.
It's fine.
Yeah,
party.
we just needed people there.
So you didn't know her, or did you know her online? And
No,
you're
just mutual friends. You know, like
Okay.
she goes to school at Chapman in Orange, which is not too far from where I live. So
Oh, yeah.
there's just like probably a community of just mutual friends in Orange County. I feel like it's
Orange County's
a
beautiful.
little bit more tight knit than I feel like LA is pretty. It's still pretty tight knit over here too. You know everyone. I feel like, but anyways, I don't know.
Because it's like life is like this industry is so small. You know what I mean? I feel like you end up knowing. You know what I mean? You know a few people, and then you end up knowing everybody knows each
sure.
other. You know?
Yeah. So
Because so you're in Huntington Beach full time, right?
Yeah.
And then that's where your warehouse is.
yeah.
That's really cool. I moved to Huntington Beach 2014, and I finished high school.
Yeah, I think George told me you went to Edison High School, right?
Yeah.
That's
I
hilarious.
graduated from Edison. You
That's
probably
where
know
my-
a lot of people.
That's where my filmer went to school.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you talking about your brother?
No.
I was like, damn, bro, he's your brother. Because you remember you were like, my brother records for me.
Oh no,
I was
no,
like,
My
Jesus
filmer.
Christ.
Just my filmer. No.
My filmer. You mean your brother?
My brother was a videographer that taught me what to do, and now he does his own thing
Gotcha.
in
Yeah.
Tahoe. So, no, that's awesome that you went to school in,
Yeah.
in Huntington. That's nuts.
No, I love Huntington. It's the best place. I think like it's such a great place to like have kids and families, and so it's nice that you're out there. You know,
It was a cool place to go to after being in LA for 2 years. Growing up in Hawaii, it's like
a good middle.
island chill vibes. Then you get thrown into like LA, the center
Yeah.
of LA, with like crazy shit. You're like, so what is going on? There's traffic, people everywhere, which is so unlike Hawaii. And then I had to kind of bring it back down a step and go to a place a little bit more chill by the beach, which was like Huntington. So
Did you ever lose yourself a little bit and like have anybody
Yeah.
kind of like draw you back a little bit?
Yes.
Really?
yes,
Dude,
yeah.
I'm proud of you for like admitting that. Because like
For
I think
sure.
everybody goes through it, but if you don't admit it, then it could just grow like an
Yeah.
ugly little virus.
Yeah, I had this freaking phase, man. It was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see the number next to my check mark? Get the
No.
fuck away from my face.
not that kind of phase. Not that kind of phase.
Oh yeah, me neither. Me neither. Fuck.
It was like a party phase, you know, where I was like a
Oh.
little too distracted. It wasn't like a
yeah.
phase of like being hot headed, being like this. Look at my check mark. It was like the phase of like getting a little too distracted about the things that were in LA at the time, which is like clubs and partying and house parties and events and
Got
Yeah.
it.
this,
Got it.
it's nothing that has to do with bettering my career whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Just like having fun and being with people.
Yeah,
and
like-
drinking.
Distraction.
Going
Yeah.
on a party on a Tuesday night, like what the hell am I doing? You know, like, now I can't even see myself doing that nowadays. It's like so unheard of to go to sleep past like.
You grew up
10.
quick, bro. You're 21 and you sound like you're like 41.
Well, I think I definitely got that like bug very early, you know, and I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of people might get it when they're in their 20s, you know, early 20s, maybe late teens. But I definitely like had this phase of like getting thrown like literally clubs when I was like maybe 16, 17, and Don't ask how I was getting into them, but
Yeah.
figuring it out.
Same answer. You see the number next to the check mark.
Well, at least because you had a party, you met your girlfriend.
There you go.
How long have you guys been dating?
2.5 years.
Okay, nice.
Oh, congrats.
Is this your longest relationship?
Longest, yep.
Awesome. And you guys ever work together on any projects?
She's been in a few YouTube videos.
Cool, but you like to keep it separate?
I mean, we don't like to keep it separate. She just does. She's in college. She's graduating actually like in 2 days. So
Oh, tell her
Wow.
congratulations.
thank you. She's super busy with that, So I think a lot of times she can't be in videos or maybe my content. Like I think back to the whole, Ben and Lexi thing, Brent's sister. I think I did a lot of that relationship style content, and I kind of got a little bit burnt out on doing videos with my girlfriend and doing videos with
Oh,
all this.
I hear ya.
Almost every video.
Right. We're such relationship content people.
They had to start their own podcast. Jeez.
Oh
Me
my
and you are just
God.
like we are just best friends.
Yeah, I feel like we don't even have like, I don't know. Yeah.
We never had a conversation of being like, "Are we gonna do this podcast together?" Not once.
That's
we just
awesome.
randomly.
Never
I was like, "Why don't you sit in once?" And then I never asked her to leave the seat. I was like, "Just
so cool.
stay here."
Yeah, we did one together. We did a few. Right? It was just like us by itself, and then you were having a guest. It was the first guest, and then you're like, "Yeah, so you'll sit," and I'm like, "You want me to sit in with the guest?" And you're like, "Yeah, why not? Let's see how it goes." I was like, "Okay."
I think it's so cool how you're so comfortable on like camera, and just to
thank
be like.
Look
in
what she
front of a
looks like, bro.
microphone.
If she wasn't comfortable on camera, what the fuck would happen to me? In every angle, this girl looks beautiful. There's only one angle that looks good, right there, and we keep it there, and we don't move the camera. If it goes down even a little bit, it looks like it added on 45 pounds.
No, I love doing I love doing the podcast, and I think it's so much fun being able to like sit down with like my best friend and like talk to people. And well, I'm an actor, so I'm comfortable.
Oh, wow.
In front of cameras
know
and
that.
things. Yeah, I do social media. I always did social media lightly a little bit, like my Instagram, things like that. When I met Georgie, and then when I met him, he was like, "You need to do YouTube." So I tried YouTube for a while, and I think that's really fun. And
Oh, yeah.
so, but I do kind of like, I don't know. I've like really pulled back and more chill with social media. I feel like I could be way better with my Instagram, things like that. But
So sick.
She's
just-
ridiculously talented.
So
I'd rather
Like
put my effort.
ridiculously talented. There's an ongoing joke where I just tell everybody the first audition. You know what a self-tape is?
Yep.
So you do acting as well.
I did. I tried.
So for any of you guys that don't know what self-tapes are, we're going to circle back to that, by the way. I felt like there's some fun there.
Yeah.
You're like,
A self-tape is when you basically tape it at home and then you send it to the casting directors. And it started growing a lot more during COVID because, they didn't want people coming into the office.
yeah, it used to be all in person. You'd go in and be in the office, which was so nice.
And one day she hands me, she's like, "Hey, could you just do this self-tape with me?" Now, mind you, we're not alone, bro.
We're
Her
on
sister's
family
ex-boyfriend
Christmas
is
vacation.
sitting down doing a puzzle, literally from here to Jessica. This is how far we are. Doing a puzzle. Some other girl's cutting onions like loud. There's shit going on, right? So I'm like, okay, this audition is gonna be like a one scene like comedy. She's playing a crackhead hooker, bro, and she's like crying, snot's coming out of her face. I'm
Wow.
like, what the fuck? How did you even tap into that so quick? It was literally just action, like, and then snot. Like,
Stop.
In front of everyone?
Bro, everyone.
Holy shit.
Bro, I swear to
crying.
God, on God, when she cries in real life versus camera, I don't know the fucking difference, bro. There's so many times we'll be in an
Wow.
argument and she'll like cry and I'm like, is that fucking real or not? I can't tell. And it fucks my head up, bro. It fucks my head up. She's
you'll never
way
know.
too talented for it.
That's so
No.
cool.
Nah, she's gonna blow up. She's the rooms that she's in right now impress the fuck out of me. The scripts that you're reading right now are like, I'm
Thank
very,
you.
very blown away from what you got going on your table.
What would you
Thanks,
say
I
is like
appreciate
your favorite type of like genre to act? Is that like a thing to ask? I don't know.
Yeah, no, you know what's funny?
Like emotion, I guess.
Yeah, like which is your type? I always thought I was like, oh, I'm gonna be like drama all the way. That's what I want to do. I want to feel something. I want to show people, like, And then somehow
Well said.
I want to really show. No, I love being able to make other people feel something and being able to like understand the character I'm playing and like really have people understand that, So I think that that's probably my favorite. But I somehow end up doing a lot of like comedy and did a few like, I don't know, sitcoms seem to like fit in well with like my acting, and so I really enjoy doing sitcoms and things like that too. So we'll see. But
What stirred you up into wanting to act?
It's not that I really wanted to act. It's just that I feel like when you gain a following on social media, certain, I don't know if it's what they call them, casting directors are more drawn to trying to get you to be in the film because of your following. So I never really was seeking out being in anything, but I definitely got approached to audition or whatever to be in a few things. And I just didn't really, really enjoy it. I think I wasn't really good at it to begin with. And I definitely tried. I took some classes and stuff, but I ultimately, like, I had a few auditions that just, like, when I'm 16, just kind of, set me the wrong way. And I'm just like, I don't know if this is for me. And I don't know if this is more back in the day, but I feel like back in the day, everyone's like, so what's after social media? Like, what's after? And
Bro,
you almost...
Bro, I like when you say you got casting directors to... I had to hide that I was a social media star.
Yeah.
I couldn't admit it. If they found out I was, they wouldn't even accept me.
Really?
Yeah, they
It
hated
used
us.
to just be so different.
Hated
Yeah.
us, bro.
Dude, I mean,
Hated us.
I don't know
Like,
how this
hated
happened,
us.
but I literally got like 2 scenes in a Netflix show without even having to audition.
Let's
and they
go.
tossed me in this. I'm so bad at acting. I
No, but
don't
by
want
the
you
way-
guys
by
to
the way-
watch that, but I was like, why am I here?
You earned it though. You earned it because regardless of how you got on it, even if it was offered to you, it was offered to you because you worked your ass off and you have an audience. That is not something to look after lightly. A lot of actors that are not booking right now get jealous and mad at people like you, but they're fucking talentless and that's why they're not booking shit. So it's like, don't get on yourself because
Yeah.
you were offered that. You worked your ass off for that, bro. You were
Thanks.
taking flights twice a week from Hawaii to go. There's a lot of people that don't even want to go to an audition down the street. Don't ever feel
thank
bad
you.
for that. You fucking earned that shit, bro.
Acting was definitely like a weird thing that I tried for about a year, and I didn't really do much with it. Just more so just based on how I personally felt. I didn't do enough auditions to probably like really, really understand like what I was getting myself into, but I had this gut feeling that it wasn't meant for me and I wasn't going to force it. So I just I enjoyed more the content creation and I was like, I'll just stick to that. I tried it a little bit.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, if you know what you love, and then there's no point in wasting time in something. Certainly, if you're not passionate about it, then it's gonna be a headache for you. And,
What
Yeah.
made you
know?
want to be an actress?
I don't know. I've just always wanted to act since I was like 5. When I was like really young, I did modeling, and we lived in Europe, and so we'd go to Paris like every, I don't know, weekend or every other weekend or whatever, and I'd have like modeling jobs. And then I also did commercials. So I was on set for like commercials when I was younger, and and I just love watching Disney Channel. I was like, that's me. And if I was with any groups of like adults, I was always performing in front of them. And then I started doing theater,
I was performing very young. I was doing live performance when I was in like 1st and 2nd grade. They would pull me out of school for it. But the first time I ever wanted to be an actor was because of Shia Leboeuf. Did I ever tell you this?
Oh, I know this.
Shia Leboeuf was the reason why I wanted to be an actor.
Wow.
I was in I don't know what they call it now, but it was like special ed class. It was like I literally sat with kids that were on the spectrum.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name.
Resource class.
Okay.
Well, mine was resource class.
Mine was different, but I know what you're talking about.
There was no resource there, but it was we were called the resource class. And I was with kids that were like on a spectrum from like very mentally challenged to like me. And so it was like they just either like couldn't comprehend things or whatever the spectrum was. And I watched a movie where Shia LaBeouf plays a mentally challenged kid. And there was a scene where he gets lost in a library and he gets so scared and he realizes that he's different from other people and certain aspects of his life is way too hard, and he started to notice it and he started having a meltdown. And I would have tiny meltdowns as well from like noticing that I wasn't reading as much as other people and like couldn't comprehend it. And so when I watched this man on the screen make me feel not even more like me, but the kids that are in my class, and made me understand their perspective, I realized how powerful it could be to show somebody a different perspective by literally bringing it to life in front of them. And so that was the reason why I wanted to be an actor, is because
That's awesome.
I love that.
That's
I think
nuts.
That's really
'Cause
special.
I feel like that's probably very much helped your career in making videos, being on camera, I assume, right?
Mm-hmm.
And probably for you too, like you mentioned, like I was like, how are you so comfortable? And you're mentioning you're like doing a lot of acting. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, it's nuts. I mean, I feel like I don't know how I can be in front of a camera now based on how much I didn't want to be in front of a camera back in the day.
you practiced.
I just
Yeah.
forced myself to, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
cool
yeah.
that like I always find so much like just wowness in seeing like child actors and people that do like that want to be on camera or whatever, or even just on like a play or at school or whatever. Like as a kid, I'm like, that takes so much courage, because I couldn't even do like a presentation in front of my class without crying. Just like could not do it.
Public speaking is like the
Yeah.
scariest thing in the world, right? It's
Yeah.
like voted the scariest thing in the
Yeah,
world.
a lot of people can't.
Yeah.
There's a phobia for it.
Well,
That's the movie.
Oh my God, true confession.
I was the kid in my class
Jessica,
that
you
was
just
like,
gave me goosebumps
I'll do the
all in
talking
my-
for our presentation. Like,
Really?
yeah, I was like, I'll talk to I'll be the one talk, guys. Like,
I'm
don't
like
talk.
I'm like hiding in the corner, like don't pick me, don't pick
Yeah,
me.
please, please.
When you were on set, did you find it annoying that it was like hurry up and wait, and then you just waited around, and you're like, I like creating things and like making it how I see it in my head, because that's what made me kind of like peel back from acting.
A lot of waiting,
Right? It's
unnecessary waiting.
unnecessary waiting.
Be there 8 a.m., but you're not gonna film till like 4 p.m.
Bro,
I'm like,
oh my God.
Why wasn't I here at 4? Why am I
Thank
here at
you.
8?
And who are we waiting for? That's what I want to know. We're the cast, the crews. I'm seeing them.
I think you just have no say. It's just their. It's their.
There's just
gig.
too much going on.
It's their gig.
There's so
they'll
much
tell you
going
when to
on.
be there, and if you're not gonna be there, then they're gonna cut you. I feel like.
Yeah.
It's you're at their mercy, you know, and they can play that.
Are you scared of AIs? That was a totally drift because
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm sorry, in my mind, I just thought about like when you said that, my neighbor, John, we have a neighbor named John, and he just came up to me. I don't know if this is true, but he told me this and it scared the shit out of me. He said, and please look this up because I could be completely wrong, but he said Tom Cruise just signed something that basically he gets the right to his AI, which means in the future, the actors are no longer actually going to be acting, but they have to get their rights because you're using their persona.
Oh my god!
Is that terrible?
Wow.
Well, not
So-
for him. He's just going to be chilling.
No, that's
Like they'll
just
deep fake him and put him in
awful.
stuff.
Exactly how they do with Paul Walker.
The word they use. Deep
Yeah, deep fake.
Yeah, deep fake. So,
Oh my god.
so the
That's
reason I brought that
insane.
up is because I wonder how much longer there's going to be a set where real people are showing up.
It's getting so absurdly advanced so quickly that I'm mind blown. I think 6 months ago, like the first little AI thing that could reply to you was happening, and then now it's like literally you can take a photo of your living room and it'll redesign it for you, like
What are you talking
interior.
about?
Really?
Do you see the creator aspect of it? So not only do you have a plugin to edit your podcast. So if you want to edit your podcast, you throw on a plugin and it'll edit the whole podcast. That's one. That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And then two, the second one was like, hey, I want to come up with a concept. Can't come up with a concept, so I ask an AI. Cool, fine. It's not like 10 years of my life wanted to kill myself for not coming up with content, regardless. But now it comes up with concepts, and then you're like, okay, well, what if I'm brain dead and I don't even know how to shoot the concept? It shows you how to shoot it. So if you're like, yo, I want to go try fast food restaurants, it says first you need an establishing shot of McDonald's, and it'll show you what to
Yeah.
shoot. So that way when you shoot it, you throw it in, and then it'll edit it for you. So it's, bro, like, I'm getting hot right now thinking I'm going to get wiped away from an AI, bro.
Yeah, what do you mean now they're actors?
Look
Like,
at her. You
what's-
can't even talk. And I would have just said what you were trying to say immediately.
I heard of this very scary AI scam. That
Yep. I already know what you're talking about. Where they call you, Mom, help.
that's so messed up,
Do
bro.
you have a safe word?
I don't,
You
but
need to
I
get a
need
safe
one
word.
because I would lose my mind, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Call me and give me your safe
Without
word so I
even
know it.
knowing that, holy shit, I would
Yeah.
empty my bank account for my mom and know it. Like that is fucked.
I would hang
Yeah.
up and call my mom first. You know what I mean? Like,
What if it's your mom? What if they find a way to call it off your mom's phone? Because
Like it makes it look like it.
there's things that can do that. You can call off someone else's number.
no, I know that, but I would hang up and call them again. Yeah, call them.
But if it sounds like your mom is literally with a knife to her neck, I don't think I would want to hang up.
Yeah, what you saying? All these personal things.
Gun to head. I'm double checking before I throw my money.
You're like,
at
let
it.
me hang
Hang
up.
up, she dies.
I'm not hanging up the phone. 'Cause I don't know if they're gonna answer again.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
This
saying?
is
Like
in a hostage situation.
in the
you don't-
moment,
yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, let me check my safe word. Let me go in my notes and look for the safe word.
Oh no, I'm built different. They're like, we're going to send you one pinky finger of your mother. I was like, could you give me 2 weeks to get a DNA tested to make sure it's hers, and then send the
Bro,
money
but
after?
yeah,
kidding.
that gave me the heebie-jeebies. Like hearing that shit. Like I
First
was
of all,
freaked
you're
out.
21. We're gonna start cutting out the heebie-jeebie talk.
That's like those Drake memes where he's like,
Oh,
saying-
Drake's the type of dude to say booga booga.
That's exactly that was all right.
Bro,
that
you-
was a heebie-jeebies moment. Drake's the kind of guy to say heebie-jeebies. Why the fuck did I say that?
That was so funny. Oh,
That's that Drake meme where he says shit that he shouldn't be saying. Corny little words.
Did you? Oh, by the way, speaking of AI, did you hear? Caroline, we hear you.
Stop it.
Why did I say that?
I have a funny story about Caroline. So Caroline, she's been keeping with my house for so long now, almost like
Keeping with my
keeping with my. She's
keeping up with my house.
keeping up with my house, like the Kardashians.
I know.
It's a show.
She is the best woman I've ever met in my life. She's literally such a, and I call her my California mom because she just takes care of me. And it was so funny. She has the same name as my mom. It's Caroline.
Oh, lit.
And one day I do too much playing, and people don't know when I'm playing or not playing because my pranks get a little too dark.
Yeah.
But Jessica's paying her one day. She goes, "Oh my God, Caroline this, Caroline that, Caroline," and I just started laughing. I go, "You know what's so funny?" And she goes, "What?" I go, "Her name's not Caroline."
Oh yeah.
And she goes, "What?" I go, "Yeah, I just call her Caroline because, you know, she's like my mom's, because my mom's name's
That's
Caroline."
unbelievable.
And my sister goes, "There's no fucking way, George. There's no fucking way you had me calling her Caroline." She goes, "It's been 3 years, George. 3 years I've been calling." And she's like freaking out. She's like, "It's so
Is
disrespectful."
your sister?
Yeah. This is my sister. Yeah.
Oh, you're his sister? How the fuck? I didn't know that. What?
Jessica and I have the like we have so okay. Let me give you an example. This is why I love Jessica, because she just gives me material. She's washing dishes in the sink, right? See that now? If you could just get up real quick and look outside, right? When you're washing your dishes, what do you see right in front of you?
The neighbor's window.
The neighbor's window.
Yep.
Now the neighbor's window's up, and so is ours. And she's watching the TV right here, but from the reflection. So she's watching the TV while cleaning and
That's talent.
laughing while staring at this. So this is the reflection. This is where the neighbors are, right?
I never thought about doing
she's
that.
like, and then finally she notices that the old man
His
neighbor
movement?
gets up from, because they're all eating, gets up and closes the blind.
How do you explain that one, bro? Oh my god.
They're like, oh God, the neighbor's staring at us again. Kids, go to
It's
your
probably
rooms.
looked like she was looking through them too, just
Yeah.
like crazy, you know.
Dude, and this is right where she moved in too.
For weeks after, weeks. I would only go out the front. I would walk the longer way.
Have you talked to him at all?
Yeah, we're okay.
All right. Holy shit.
That Celsius is. Can we talk about that one? Because that's a pretty cool flavor.
Okay, yeah. You know, actually, I tried this a while ago and I haven't seen it since, so I'm glad to see it again. And
I love you so much.
no, I'm so serious.
It's like an unboxing.
Because I haven't seen it in a while, and it really does taste like Coca-Cola.
What's it called?
Cola.
Oh shit.
No way.
It's called
Wow.
Cola, and it really does taste like Coca-Cola. Like, it's great. It's great.
That's pretty crazy, though.
Isn't that crazy?
Are you a germaphobe?
Gonna leave me out of this, bro?
Are you a germaphobe?
I'm gonna sip. Give me a sip.
Okay, thank you.
I really thought I was about to just sit here and like.
No.
nice, I wonder
But be honest, bro. To be honest, like,
Oh, forever.
if it doesn't taste like cola, just tell us. We'll just cut it.
Damn.
Right?
Dude.
Bro, what?
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Fuck. That's crazy.
So if you like Coca-Cola, bro, like, I don't know.
That's
I mean, if
crazy.
you like cola, I don't know if you can say Coca-Cola. If you like cola,
If you like the cola flavor, isn't that crazy?
That's
It's so good.
fire.
I had a really good like time talking to you, bro. Like every time me and you talk, you always do impress me. I feel like you really have your head on your shoulders.
Thank you, man.
You're
You know
a
what-
wonderful guy.
Thank you, guys. You know, one time that I very like always think about and appreciate was when I came to your guys' house. I don't know if you lived there. It was at Logan's house.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just about to bring this up. Continue.
But I showed up to like drop off some merch.
Oh my God, I remember this.
And one, I thought it was really cool that Logan was down to do that because
Yeah.
I was like not expecting a reply. I was like, oh, what the fuck? All right, cool.
It was a merch release.
Yeah, I was like,
Didn't you
oh
bring
my-
a huge trampoline
I
with
put
you?
a trampoline out front. I don't really know what was going on, but that was just ultimately. I thought that was really cool that you guys were down for that. Like, I was not expecting a yes, especially from him. You know, I was not expecting anything, and I show up and you guys were like so cool about it. And then I obviously, you know, you guys were there, so I was talking with you, and you know, just like the welcomingness that I had, being like, you know, a creator that you guys didn't really know, showing up to your house, doing some stupid shit, plugging my merch, and which is it was like, I don't know, a really random thing to do, but you guys were so cool about it and welcoming, and like gave me this really like warm feeling of like, damn, like that was awesome. That, you know, like there's other creators out there that are just really looking out for everyone
Yeah, man.
and like trying to support, you know, other creators, and even if it has nothing to do with them, like they'll just be down for it. So I think that was really cool that you guys were just like super open into having me do that and just ran with it and were welcoming. So
You know what I
appreciate
love?
that.
I know that there's going to be a kid that's watching you or meets you in real life, and the vibes that we've given you, or that Surfer Alex kid gave you, or all these people that like Brent, like were like very welcoming. I feel like you're just passing on that energy, and it's cool to watch you, bro. Because
Thank
like
you.
what you've accomplished. How many subs do you have? Like 20?
21 million.
21
That's insane.
million, bro. That's insane.
Thank you.
What?
20 on just one. You have 20 subscribers on YouTube. You have like 16 on TikTok.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
other platforms.
Other platforms, you have millions and millions.
I would
bro.
say YouTube's my main gig.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like, thank you.
Before we go and wrap, I got to talk about your future because I kind of want to see where you're like projecting your life to go. So we know you don't want to be an actor.
Nope.
You're in love with creating.
Yep.
You might dabble back in podcasting in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But is
Yeah.
a like
And you have Stay Wild, your clothing brand, right?
It's like a brand as a whole, I guess. I haven't really done a lot with the clothing, but I've made like a second vlog channel about it.
so
Right.
okay, so you're still vlogging.
I vlogged. It's not really vlog. Second channel for
Got
like
it.
other types of content.
Cool. So what is on your plate right now? Is there any like baby project that you're like forming together that you're excited about?
Man, I mean, right now, I think, I've been doing it for about 4 to 5 years, which I'd say is a very early stage for certain creators. I think there's been people doing it for like 10 to 15. So I'm nowhere near the end of me making videos. And I'm not one to, and I think I've definitely gotten a little distracted in the past thinking too much about the future. And I think what's working right now is making videos, and what's making me happy right now is making videos. So I'm super focused on just keeping like the content alive, keeping the audience entertained, keeping like a strong viewership and a returning audience. Really trying to just like focus on that, monetize that, create some sort of brand. Like,
Do you break it down? Like, do you look at your like analytics and have like a formula?
I'm probably, I think, one of the more analytical people on the platform. Like from the start, I've always looked at everything like a science, and I've only done things that I know will do well, and I've almost tried to calculating it to where there's less risk involved and more just less risk as a whole.
Yeah.
And I think that comes with a lot of research. And I've tried to research literally everything I possibly can.
Do you have writers?
No, I do it all myself.
There's no way.
Yeah,
Nah.
yeah,
I'm calling cap. There's no way you
No.
do this all by yourself. You have no writers.
no.
Bro, you were pumping out content like a crackhead at one point. How were you doing that?
For the longest time, when I saw you at Logan's back in the day, had just me, a filmer, and like a right-hand man who would help me with like making content happen.
And you just burn it out.
Yeah, just do it all.
Did you ever have a burnout session where you're like, God, I'm like, this is getting
Oh,
to
for
me.
sure. I still edit like a third of my videos myself, so I still have that like, damn, like this is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm.
Why don't you give it up? Not like the career. I'm sorry. Why don't you give it up, man? No, I'm saying like, why don't you find somebody that like could edit or like take away your responsibilities?
I'm trying to. I think I'm just very, very particular with the small.
Wait a second. You stole one of my editors. You took KR.
Is his name KR?
I don't know.
I don't know if I wanted to bring that up. 'cause
You took my editor.
I didn't know what the deal was.
Fuck you. You still edit and you took my editor?
I didn't know what the deal was. I was thinking about that. I was like, maybe I can ask him about that. But nah, I don't want to bring that up.
I had
but anyways, they already brought it up.
Dude,
I
this-
didn't steal him, all right?
You
He didn't-
stole my
No.
editor, bro. He literally goes, "Hey, Lou, I'm leaving you for a younger, better looking
Shut the
man."
fuck up. That's not true.
No, you know what? I got to the point where I had my own little burnout,
Yeah.
and he wanted to edit stuff like your videos, where it was like very high energy, very moving, and I wanted to move towards like either podcasting or like more like actual day to day, like not like crazy, like all this type of
Yeah.
editing. So when he said, "Yeah, I'm going to Brent," I was like, Ben. I was like, you know, fuck you. Now you're Brent. You stole my editor. When I was like, fuck, but then I was like, nah, I'm glad it went to you because you were killing it. He was doing a great job.
Thank you. But if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if did I steal him?
Yeah.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. I thought he was editing for both of us.
Until he was editing it for you. Because, dude, you
But-
were
but
rolling
he
out
does-
like a
but he-
crazy amount.
But he does stuff for Sidemen still.
Yeah, well, he
I'm
started
not the only
with
person.
Sidemen.
I'm not the only person he edits for, which gave me the impression that he was just had a lot of clients.
Yeah.
I didn't want to ever be the guy that steals an editor, so I'm sorry that happened. I really
Bro,
am.
I was just joking. with you.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, no, no.
I don't want to steal
I
people.
bet you
No, no, no,
anything.
no.
I bet you anything. KR was probably like. I bet you anything. KR was probably like, "Oh no, yeah, I got you. Like I can edit," because he was trying. He wanted to probably edit as many people as he could, you know. So he probably told you like, "Oh,
Guys,
I got
I
all
was
these people
fucking
going
joking.
on."
We made this
fired him.
real, bro. No,
Sometimes I don't know if people are joking. I don't want to make
so
anyone mad.
he was working. He asked me. He goes, "Hey, you reached out. Can you go?" And I go, "Absolutely." Then we moved on, but it was a joke of like, "Oh, now he went for you." Like,
Okay,
it was
okay, okay.
just a joke. Editors could work for multiple
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
I
He
don't
definitely
spend
has
enough
a few
time with
people.
George to know exactly
oh my
what
god,
you're talking
I'm so
about.
sorry.
But
we
the-
wrap up. I was like, no, I was actually really mad.
But the
about
one thing that gave me like the oh fuck was because the reason that the way I found him was because you linked him in your description.
it. So this
So
is
I was like,
Bro.
damn, George's videos are fucking fire. He's got great editing. Who is this guy? And I like scroll. I'm like,
this is what's
this
always,
guy linked him. So I hit him up,
Hey,
not
got
with intent to
room?
steal
This
him,
is
but
what-
just to borrow.
This
him.
is what happens. By the way, you know what he did after he took my editor? He went to my Instagram and followed everybody and then unfollowed them.
And now I'm at 30 million.
Hilarious.
what I do is I get an editor at the time when I have me and Reed, me and him are just like a duo. He does everything. But what I would do is I told Reed, I go, dude, this is what always happens. I get somebody that's in buttfuck nowhere. I train them and to show them how to like kill it, and then soon enough they'll ask me, hey man, can I get some credit? And then my okay, even though I'm paying you, my heart does go to, they want to go share it to their friends and family, and they want to go like, hey, look, you go look in the description, I'm the one who did this. So I can't take away that from them, right?
Sure.
And it feels weird. So I told him, I literally him and my thumbnail guy, I go, listen, all right guys, I'm gonna, it was like a graduation moment. I was like, all right, I'm gonna put you guys on this shit. I go, but I will have you know, every time I do this, a month later we don't work with each other anymore because somebody else grabs them. Literally a week into it, I go, wow, bro, that's quick, bro. Soon as it's in the description, all the other influencers are, pfft. And by the way, you weren't the only one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like, there were like 50 of them that reached out. He's fire,
He's
bro.
great.
He's so
he's
good.
so talented.
He's so talented. Is he still working with you?
He is,
How's
yeah.
he doing?
Great, yeah. I'm not putting out as much content as I'd hope to be, so I don't speak to him as much. I'm doing like every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, which is like, eh. So I talk to him when I'm posting. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to post more, which means I'll talk to him more. But
He was around a lot of llamas.
llamas.
Yeah, he lived in a llama farm.
He lives in Norway,
Yeah,
which is like,
on a llama farm.
and I have another editor who lives in Nigeria. So I have like editors all over the world, which is really crazy to think about.
Yeah.
You have more than one editor?
That's cool.
2 editors on one video. So he just does my VFX and my music.
That's okay, cool. That's
Yeah.
what I had him for. But he was
Got
actually
it.
doing more.
Cuts.
I think he was doing the cuts as well.
He was doing everything at that point.
Yeah, I got you. So what's your other editor do?
He cuts my videos and now he edits for my vlogs and he helps me like consults me on like just like some. I guess now he's helping me a lot, kind of with like finding ideas for my vlog channel and my second channel.
Get rid of him. There's an AI I can show you. Let me teach you.
But no, yeah, he's a great guy. He lives in Nigeria and we've just kind of really connected on like I want to be the guy to help him. He wants to help me, and I'm trying to get him out to the U.S. To live out here. And we've been like really trying to like meet in person because we've honestly become best friends, which is nuts because
Wow.
we never met each other. But he lives in Nigeria, I live in the U.S. and we don't know each other, but we become best friends online. And he helps me with all my videos. And he's obviously in a situation that's not the most fortunate, where he lives. And the situation is like I was trying to first get him to just travel here and visit for a week or two. Couldn't do that till 2025 to apply for a travel visa, which I was so open, like mind blown by that fact. I have never really dealt with a visa in any aspect because I'm grateful to live in the U.S.
Why does it take so long?
I don't.
For it to be approved
Sure.
and things
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
Certain countries.
That also have to approve it. It's not just one ended.
For them to go visit.
So I mean, I think it's a country that doesn't have the closest ties with the U.S. as maybe Europe does or other countries. So it's hard to travel out of that country, let alone move, let alone vacation. So it's a super big struggle, and I might even just fly there and meet him because I mean I can.
Hey man, be careful.
So but we become so close that it's been to the point where like I would go out there and meet him for sure. And
Yeah.
I think it's been a cool relationship to have with someone, and I've learned so much and gotten so many grateful moments where I'm like, damn, I'm very grateful to live where I live and be in the opportunity to live in this country because hearing, from an outsider's perspective, how things go down in other countries is kind of crazy. I think we're very blinded to what goes on in other countries. Like you'll see it surface level on the news maybe, but until you really meet someone and dive into like the depths of how it actually is, you won't really ever know. So it's been nuts hearing about just how things happen in other countries and the things that he might not be able to do that I am, and things that you're like, wow, I take that for granted. Damn.
100%.
Yeah, that's amazing. He's been able to give you like perspective, and,
For sure.
and I think that would be really cool if you'd be able to go over there and meet
Yeah.
him, and that'd be crazy for him.
100%.
Yeah,
Gotta let us know if you do it.
I
Yeah.
will. I'll make a video about it for sure.
And then
I'll
make KR edit it.
There you
Just
go.
be like hanging out with my favorite editor.
my
And then
favorite.
he's editing.
What do you? Oh, sorry. What do you have? Like my last question personally for you would be, what's your favorite thing that you're working on, either work or personal? But what's your favorite thing in your life right now that you want to kind of like focus on and build?
I'm getting into dirt biking, which has nothing to do with work, but
Nice.
I've really enjoyed that
I
hobby.
love biking.
I've really enjoyed that hobby. I think I besides work stuff, I try to dabble in as much hobbies as I can and really dive into them. And I get
Good.
really passionate about things outside of work very quickly. So I think dirt biking right now is like my like every weekend thing.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what a Super 73 is?
Yeah.
Do you have one?
I have a Suron, which is without the pedals. It's like more of electric dirt bike. I don't know.
I am in love with bike riding.
Oh, yeah.
So like I get what you're meaning. Dude, being outside
Yeah.
on 2 wheels for some reason gets my wheels going.
It's the gears turning.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm good. I feel like this podcast was full. It was great. It was
yeah.
a privilege sitting down and talking to you, bro. It
Thank
really
you, man.
was.
Thank you so much for having me. Seriously, it's my first podcast, I'd say. So I think very grateful to have this be my first podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
You did
Oh,
wonderfully.
dude.
I was
Heck
hella
yeah.
nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
Really? You did?
Hella
I'm
nervous.
going to be honest with you, dude. Sometimes it's very hard to sit across from somebody and try to dig out of them.
Yeah.
And we can actually roll that. On my Patreon, I was like, I think he's going to be really hard. We're going to have to pull a lot out of him. You were probably one of my easiest guests I've ever had.
Thanks, man. It literally, I feel like this has been like 20 minutes.
It
goes by quick,
It's been
huh?
an hour and 20 minutes.
That's nuts.
And I usually cut it at an hour, but I was having
like,
such
damn,
a
we're
flow.
already ending. I was like, I can't wait to keep talking. So that's really cool that it flies by fast.
Come back.
I'll come back.
I want to have reoccurring guests, and
Let's
I
go.
would love to have you be on
I'm
a
here, bro.
recurring
I'm
guest.
here.
My man.
And if I make another podcast, I'll have you guys on it.
Absolutely, I would
Thank
love to do
you.
that. And I'm gonna like start ratting out everything. Just give you all the juice, bro. You
Let's
wouldn't
go.
believe what happened to me on this day.
Title, thumbnail, bam.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you guys want to see behind the scenes stuff, vlogs, exclusive podcasts, make sure you go to my Patreon. Links in the description. And we're also next week, believe it or not, we're throwing out a bunch of new feet pics of Belle. So if you're into that, obviously she's a Christian, so she's gonna be wearing socks. But it's just go and click the
Subscribe to that.
You're like, whatever that is.
All right, I'll see you
Whatever
later.
site that's going on, subscribe to it.